We're here at the Valhalla house, and I got a special guest with me right now. What is your name?
Francis Gendron.
And Francis, how did you find yourself here right now?
Well, I started doing conferences about Earthship a couple months ago. After I finished the Earthship Academy, I was the first one in Quebec to complete it. And then I met Mark Kopla somehow on the internet for a little bit, and we talked, and then realized that we had a common project, which was the greenhouse, like the adapted greenhouse with Earthship principles. And so right now we're doing some videos, Kickstart projects, and things like that, so we have the money to build it this summer.
So, would you say that your interest lies in the plant kingdom?
The plant, no, I would say it's right now. I do love the plant kingdom. I don't know that much about it yet. I mean, I've done permaculture course and stuff, but I can't say I have a lot of experience with it. So I would say right now it's more like the building that will facilitate growing stuff inside and in cold climates like here.
So walk me through a little bit of the plan. You decided to come back, and you didn't want to build earthships right away where people would dwell in them. You wanted to show the fundamentals of an earthship in a smaller scale model?
Well, the big thing for me is just, if you haven't heard of earthship before, you haven't seen them before because there's not a lot here. A lot of people feel like, buying a house is a big deal. Even if it's a cheaper house, it's still a big deal, and it's often the biggest thing you'll buy your whole life. So not everybody would be ready, even though they see the conference, they're like, wow, that's really cool, I like it. But not everybody would be ready fast. So I just thought that the greenhouse, which is going to be a very small fraction of the price itself, would be a good start just to get people excited first. And then second thing is, our biggest impact here in Quebec, since electricity is from Hydro-Québec, our biggest impact from far is the food. The food, everybody here, the stuff that we eat is what is really trashing the place because it's coming from really far, really far, like 5,000 kilometers and things like that. And so I think that being able to grow food locally as fast as possible is one of the big key for sure.
So this is, in a sense, a small-scale task in a larger revolution?
Absolutely.
So what would you like to see happen in this big revolution?
Well, of course, I've had a really cool dream the other day where it's just, we take all the field that have just corn and Monsanto stuff on them. We just start putting greenhouses everywhere, all facing south, using, interacting with nature and the natural phenomena so that they need very little or no energy inside to allow us to grow food year-round, as well as permaculture all around these greenhouses that have aquaponics system in them. And I believe that with just one field of corn, we could produce a ridiculous amount of food with that, and it would be looking so much better and so much better for the environment at the same time. So that'd be nice.
A little more useful than corn, would you say?
Exactly, yeah. Corn that then feeds on, animals that are not well treated, and at the same time they just waste 90% of the energy. So
the funnest question you can ask the farmer is ask him if he eats his corn.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, they never do.
Likely not.
So I gotta ask you, gut check time. What's your biggest fear in this revolution?
Biggest fear? I mean, it's not a fear. I know it's going to be difficult, just like anything that's important and that anything that is worth doing is usually difficult. So I know it's going to be difficult, but at the same time, I just see it as, what else am I going to do? Am I going to, work for Monsanto or keep going the way we're doing right now? And the answer to that is no. So I'm just going to do the best I can to go the other direction, and hopefully it's going to work out. And it's not a fear, but I'm conscious that it will be hard, and there's going to be all sorts of.
So what is the most important attribute for success?
Oh my God, you have deep questions. The most important attribute for success. I think that it's, for me at least, and I can't say I'm an extremely successful person. I have a lot of cool stuff happening all the time. I have the best life ever for sure, but I feel like having the vision, taking the time to really know what you want yourself, to actually, and I do that every day, spend a certain amount of time just making sure that I see what my vision of paradise for this planet, and then and the most important thing I think is just not to just see it, but after that just So what can I do today to bring me that much closer to that goal?
So what do you want to do to better yourself?
To better myself?
Yeah, what's one thing you want to do to better yourself?
There's many things I want to do to better myself. Of course, the you mean on a personal aspect or for?
It's the only way you can answer.
Yeah. All right. So that's intense. To better myself, of course, the whole thing is about the ego. So taking control of that, and making sure that I'm not doing something just to show that I'm right, but actually doing it because I feel like it's the most important thing or the best thing possible. And it always is hard, even with the whole Earthship thing, I'm not selling the idea of Earthship itself. I'm trying to sell the idea of the best thing ever, which at this moment in time, I feel like Earthship is the best thing ever because I haven't seen anything that was even close to it for buildings at least, or for interacting with nature and stuff and natural phenomena. But you have to keep it in mind because if I was doing those conferences for very long and not being aware of it, then at one point I would be just like, then Earthship is the only deal, and even if something better was coming, I would be like, no, Earthship. So it's a constant fight for sure, and it's like that for everyone, I think. But yeah.
So what's the plan moving forward?
The plan looking forward? Well, the big plan for me this summer is two things. So what I've been doing the past couple months was planting seed, trying to do as many conferences as I could. I've done 27 so far. Some of them had a lot of people, so it's going well. Now the seeds are planted, so the goal is to have them grow and facilitate, create a climate for change around that. And so there's a school that's going to start this summer in French. I'm working a lot on the French aspect because I feel like there's a lot of information in English already, not very much in French, not a lot of places where you can learn and stuff like that. So there's going to be a school that's going to be July and August, permaculture and eco building in Chertsey, so 1 hour north of Montreal. And then May and June I'll be here with Valhalla building a greenhouse as well as building another greenhouse in Bromont. So hopefully having 2 to 3 prototypes that we film the whole thing so that people can then take this information and use it for their own and build their own and stuff like that. So
any final words?
have the best day ever.